You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ12. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ12 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
And that's even like with this AI thing, like, oh yeah, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's going to take my job as an assistant. Well, why don't you use it? Like, learn how to use it and be a better assistant. So now if you do leave, somebody be like, oh yeah, I can do all this stuff. They realize, oh, wait a minute. They was doing a whole lot with this thing that I didn't even realize. And maybe they'll call you back or maybe be like, nah, forget you. I'm working with 10 other folks. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But that's what we need to do. We need to embrace technology and understand that, nothing is going to stay the same.
Yeah. No.
Everything changes all the time. And so I definitely agree with you. A lot of these positions that we have years ago, network engineers were like really big because, you know, they were in the data centers, in the server rooms and all those types of things, right? Well, now we got the cloud. So they didn't go nowhere. They just learned cloud technology. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just what happens. We just learn and we evolve and we grow.
All right, y'all. So I'm sure all y'all know the number one thing that's been on everyone's lips lately has been AI, ChatGPT, Bard, all these different AI platforms and what's taking the world by storm right now. So, of course, it only makes sense that on Tech is the New Black, we start talking about this thing. This is something we talked about a lot behind the scenes, but we knew that we didn't want to just talk about it plainly with our audience. We wanted to bring on someone that I see as a bit of an expert that can speak on this on a much more deeper level from different angles and perspectives that even I myself would not be able to touch on it from. So y'all, I'm very excited to bring on our guest that we have for y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and read off his bio so that way y'all can get a little bit more familiar before we jump into the interview. So Robert McNair is a highly motivated public speaker with 20 years of experience in IT. As a skilled speaker, Robert captivates audiences with his energetic delivery and in-depth knowledge of the cloud industry. And so now that's his bio. Now I'm going to tell y'all, I actually met Robert at an event. It was at a tech event recently. And he was speaking on ChatGPT to the audience that was there. And he was doing such a great job. I was learning a lot. I was taking notes. And I was like, yo, I would love it if we get him on the podcast. So super happy that he's here. Y'all go ahead and give a virtual applause. Those of y'all that are watching, do a bunch of clapping emojis for our guest, Robert. Bro.
What's up, man?
Man, thank you so much for coming on, dude.
Man, glad to be here. Glad to be a part of the pod, man. Thank you for having me.
Now, this is a major blessing because obviously we see what's happening in the world right now. Yeah. And it's so important, and you know this even better than I do, so important for people to be aware of like what's happening, for them to be educated. Because the news, everyone's going to talk about these things, but kind of similar to crypto and Bitcoin, you can hear about something a lot, but still not really understand or grasp, what is this? What does this mean for me? Is this something I could use? Is this just, kind of like a quick flash of something that's going to go away? So man, super happy to have you on. I guess just to kind of get things started, do you think that AI, Bard, ChatGPT, do you think that this is something that's just a cool, cute thing that's here for now, or do you believe this is something where it's like, no, this is the new world that we're stepping into?
Oh, this is just like the introduction of the calculator, bro. Like,
oh man,
you remember before you don't remember.
I don't remember the calculator. I remember the introduction.
But my dad and them used to use them adding machines, right? They used to have these little squares with these little balls on it, and that's how they would be able to add, right? But what revolutionized things was the calculator, the basic calculator. Then we got into high school, we had to get like the TI-85 and the TI-89 and all that. Well, basically, this is how it's revolutionized things. We're not going to go back to the adding machine, just like we're not going to go back to the regular search engine and how we're able to do things.
Yeah. Man, I'm so excited to get into this further. Definitely want to just follow the flow of questions that we have on here. For those of y'all that are listening and watching, we're definitely going to dive more deeply into AI. But first question. So again, we met at BikeCon in Miami, and you were teaching about how the general public can use ChatGPT, and that's what I wanted you to teach our community today. But first, what was your journey like getting into the tech industry?
Man, I've been in tech for so long now. I actually started at a really young age. Actually working on Commodore 64 in the 80s. Like
Commodore 60.
Yeah,
I heard of that. What is that?
Yeah, well, so it's one of the first personal computer platforms, and it was basically this keyboard that was basically the brain of it, almost like the hard drive, but you couldn't do all the stuff you could do now, and a floppy disk drive. And
it just hit me. You said 94.
What?
You 94?
No, Commodore 64.
Oh, 64.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said you was in tech in 94. Wait, hold up. I didn't see that on your LinkedIn.
84. Yeah.
Wait, you been in tech since 84?
Yeah. Yeah. That's when I first started.
We have not had someone that's been in tech since before the 90s. We really got to get sound effects, Eric. Like for real, because I would hit something right there. I don't even know what I hit. yeah. But no, okay. So Commodore 64.
Yeah. 1984. I was 3 years old. And my dad would have the Commodore 64. He'd do work on it, right? Yeah. But we also were introduced to games, me and my sisters. And the only way you could play a game was to write a short script or a short program in order to get access to the game. And so I'm a really big game fanatic. So that's kind of like my start with the gaming and all of that. Yeah. And while a lot of people were doing a lot of gaming, I wanted to know how it worked. So I started reading about coding at a young age, and my dad was like teaching me things at a young age. So I've literally had my entire life in tech. I've done other things. I've sold cars. I've worked retail. Yeah. But I came back to tech, and consistently I've been in tech since 2003. So I left and I came back, but yeah, since 2003.
And you were did they even call it the tech industry at the time? Like back in 2003? Because I know now everybody's like tech, and I'm one of the people's like tech. But
no, it was just computer science or networking or something like that. It was not like tech is something that, and it's a good phrase to encompass everything, right? But people always thought you did everything in tech anyway. So like, say for example, I went to school and I never graduated from it, but I went to school originally at DeVry for computer science or computer information systems. And people were calling me for like, take the virus off my computer, build me this computer. And then later on, it was like, can you build an app? Can you do websites? It was like, I don't do everything, y'all. Yeah. I tried my hand at stuff, but I realized that people just, they'll put you in that category of tech just because you have that acumen or that ability to be able to work with cameras or even, to work with computers,
Yeah. One of the things that I served in the Marine Corps, and Eric's a Navyman. Is Navyman, navalman, seaman. Sailor Moon. And Eric's a Sailor Moon. Shouts out to all the Sailor Moons out there, but no. So
the Marines can say that.
Respect to all the sailors. All due respect, I'm cracking, but respect to all the sailors, and everybody who served. But yeah, one of the things in the military is interesting is that people assume if you say like, "Oh, I'm a Marine," or I'm a soldier, or I'm a sailor, whatever it is, people are like, "Oh man, like be careful out there. They're gonna put you on the front lines," and it's like, what? Like people assume that everybody does the exact same job.
Facts.
And that's what. I guess in my opinion, I feel like that's the same way most people see the tech. Like, oh, you work in tech, so you do all of these things, right?
No, no. All of it is good, but not all of it. You can find your niche, and people pivot as well. Yeah. So you have your niche that you can do too. You may not like it, you go to something else. But like the all encompassing, all know it all tech person, that person don't exist.
Yeah. No, very true. Very true. I've yet to meet a person that even knows everything, even about their specific, even if they've stuck to one thing for 20 years, because things are constantly evolving and changing.
Every 3 to 6 months, technology changes. So this is why, I kind of get on my high horse talking about like when people want to go to college for IT, I'm kind of like, dude, that's 3 or 4 years. Do you know that what you're learning now is going to be totally obsolete? Yes. In the first year. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Get out there. Start now, know?
That's real. That sounds like that ad. Start now. You sitting on your couch.
Yeah, that is.
Start now.
Facts. That's exactly what it is, though. Real talk.
All right, cool. So, all right, so look, so you did a lot of work in the church,
Yeah.
and when it comes to building out their tech blueprint, what was that experience like?
Well, I started, it was so crazy. I started at a World Changers Church International. Shouts out to Dr. Dawkins and Pastor Taffy.
Yeah.
And I literally got the job because I was sitting in a youth conference and Pastor Dollar was talking, and I served in the ministry, and he didn't really know me at the time. And he stopped in the middle of the conference while he was preaching and said, "Rob, you're going to build me an app." And I was like, now mind you, I was in like network engineering, building computers, and I was like, all right.
There's a whole other one. I was like, hold up, I don't do that.
Yeah. But I was like, all right. But now little did he know, though, in my mind, I was thinking about how we could bring more tech folks and how we can engage people in the tech space, because that's what all I knew. And so I ended up doing it, right? And I took it to his son, and I was like, hey, here's the app that your dad was telling me that I could build. He was like, all right, cool. 2 weeks later, they're like, hey, can you come in for an interview? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I came in. They gave me a tech interview, like a code interview. I have no idea how I passed it whatsoever. Like, I have no idea.
What? So, but you knew how to code. Like, you know how to code, right?
I tinkered around a little bit, but just to make the app. But it was in the Objective-C. This stuff was asking like C++ stuff, and I was just like, I was just answering it, right? Yeah. And they gave me a call back. We're like, okay, when would you like your start date to be? I was like, would I pass? Oh, okay, straight. So this was in 2011, and from then, like, one of the things I tell people, like, don't even be intimidated when you have when you don't know everything in tech. Learn on the job, because that's literally what I did. I learned on the job, and in 6 months, that app had over 100,000 downloads.
Whoa!
Yeah,
that's insane. Rhoda's hair just leaned over like, like what?
Yeah, 100,000 downloads. One of the key attributes to it was I saw other ministries like Elevation, other ministries, they just had the streaming part, but a lot of us said, no, Dr. Dollar, no, he's a big teacher. Yeah. So I was like, well, why don't we just take his study notes and make a quiz off of it, and then publish a quiz every week based off his study notes. Wow. And people were doing it, and that's when people were doing a lot of the
that was the idea. That was the idea you came up with?
Yeah.
Man, that's fire.
Yeah. And people were doing the gaming shares with all the different games that they were playing on Facebook. That's when that was popular, and people started sharing the quiz. And so that's how, I mean, all over the world, I was looking at the numbers, and I was just like, whoa. And I was the only one in the department that was looking at this, was like, I can't even believe it.
That's
like,
insane.
And I'm showing folks or whatever. They're like, yeah, all right.
Because they don't fully grasp the magnitude of something like that.
Somebody in Zimbabwe, somebody over in Australia, somebody in Nigeria, all these different places. And I'm sitting here like, and these folks are staying on it, because you can see how long people stayed on the app. These people are staying on the app. Like, this is huge. And, you know, it helped catapult in other digital areas, digital giving, you know, text to give. I worked on all of that type stuff. Even,
was the app, was it a free app?
Yeah, free app.
So there weren't like any ads or anything
being
ran?
Mm-mm.
Man, of course, I'm just thinking like the money that could have been made. I don't want nobody judging me. Don't be judging me with your judging eyes. But I'm just like, man, but that's a huge.
But that's ministry, though. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's ministry. Real. That's ministry, and that's what, you know, drove a lot of people to be able to stream and connect and all of that type stuff, man. So
man, that's beautiful. Wow.
And I was there for 8 years.
So what? I guess when it comes to technology and ministry, were there any any red tape or any things that you wanted to do or that you were trying to present to ministries at all, and that they just weren't seeing the value of it?
Ministries, and it's sad to say, ministries do not embrace technology. I have a lot of pastor friends. I have a lot of friends that are just really high up in ministry, and they think it's all about that inner circle of people coming to church. I even hear people talking about they're going to stop streaming to Facebook and YouTube, and they want people to come back to church.
They think that the streaming is keeping people from coming in. So they think if they stop streaming, people are going to come to church if they stop streaming.
Right. And people, they just going to find another ministry. That's all they're going to find. And, you know, you got to understand that if you got to accept eCampus as being a campus, right? Yeah. and talk to them. Say, thank you for joining us wherever you are, blah, blah, blah. Ask them to give. They gonna give if you ask them to give. But if you ignore them, then of course they're not gonna be able to connect with you. But if you like treat them as another campus, yeah, that's what you need to be able to do.
Yeah, I've seen some pastors treat it almost as if it's just a recording, and it's like, I'm not even going to acknowledge you. It's like, it's kind of like y'all are there, but I'm just focused on the people that are here.
That's what they initially do.
You know what's crazy? It's kind of akin to the whole remote work thing, where it's like there are companies that, and I understand the argument from both sides. There are companies that are like, hey, no, we need people in office, and it's like, well, have they been performing? Have your numbers been up? And it's like, if your numbers and things are up, even though people are working remote, why are you so adamant about them being in office? And I guess the first time I'm thinking about the same thing when it comes to ministry. Mind you, I'm for people being in the building and all of that stuff. But it's like, well, I mean, do people have to be in the building, especially if have a small group or they're connected and they're giving and they're a part of the ministry? I don't know. That's interesting to think about.
Yeah, and because oftentimes we say, well, forsake not the assembling. Well, I understand the scripture, and I also understand when the scripture was actually written.
Exactly.
And, assembling doesn't necessarily mean a whole bunch of people in the room, because whenever you're streaming and you're on a chat, you're assembling with them same people. You may not see them face to face, but you're assembling with those people. You get connected. How many people have we met on social media that we have never met in person?
Man, I have people that I'm like, yo, they're a friend of mine. I've never met them in person.
Never.
What's interesting? Oh, I guess we're gonna dive into it. Even coming to the notion, we can even take it back. The fact that Jesus, there were times where people asked him to go and pray for people, and he was like, they would be like, oh, no, like, I trust your word.
Yeah.
I trust that your word
Romans
virtually can go and touch them and bless them where they're at. It's like, you don't have to be there in person.
Right.
And I think that's something that some ministers, I'm not going to tell ministers what they need to do, but I think some ministers maybe can sit on and think about that and be like, yo, like, Jesus was able to minister and touch people in that same way. And they weren't even able to see him on a screen. Right. And it's like, so how much can our ministry impact them? And they can see me on the screen. They can engage in the chat room. Stuff like that.
Exactly. Totally right. I mean, if you think about it from the standpoint of Jesus, when he met the lady at the well, he actually went out of his way to actually meet her. If you think about Jesus's marketing plan, you would think, oh, he just need to go out to every mountaintop and just reach as many people as possible, right? Yeah. Nah, but he actually went out his way to meet her, which was, we assumed that he was going to meet her at the well, and he influenced her before he went on his way. Yeah. So we have to understand that every individual, no matter where they are, like, we have to go to the people to be able to speak to them. Yeah. And whether that's online, on Facebook, on YouTube, on our website, even doing community outreach, is not replacing community outreach, it's adding to. Because now you can touch people all over the world. Think about the people in Iceland who can't go to a church, but they're just like, man, I like watching this dude or this lady on TV. Yes. And now you're gonna cut off my stream? Like, this is what was feeding me,
Yeah. Hey y'all, we have some incredible news that I'm super excited about, to finally announce our private tech community. Yes, you heard that right. A private tech community exclusively for you all who want more than just the podcast. You want more than just the FAQs. You want to talk with tech recruiters. You want to talk with hiring managers. You want to talk with coaches. You want to talk with people that can help with editing and rewriting your resume. Maybe you're somebody where you just want to be a part of a community where we're talking about updates of what's happening in the software industry. Y'all, this community that we've launched is also going to involve a Discord where we're going to be talking about updates in tech. We're going to be talking about companies that are hiring. We're going to be talking about upcoming tech events. So that way you don't have to miss any of the gems that I know, but not even just what I know, but the gems that friends of mine that are also in the tech industry know as well. So if you want to be a part of that community, go ahead and sign up so that way you can join us. We have a few different tiers. Ultimately, it's all tuned in for you. Oh, and last thing, also within this community, we're going to be streaming all of our interviews with our podcast guests. So instead of you having to wait months to watch the videos later on, you'll actually be able to watch the interviews in real time and ask your live questions to those guests. So make sure you join our tech community. Man, I definitely hope for those of y'all that are listening and watching, I usually don't ask y'all to like share things, but I would say if any of y'all that have like close relationships with ministers or those that are just in some form of ministry and they might be battling or wrestling with this, definitely send them this clip so that way they could really just benefit from this, kind of sit and savor on it. I mean, I appreciate it. I didn't even think that was the direction you were going to go, but I appreciate that you went that direction. Cool. That's super fire. So, all right. So working in tech, one of the things that I've noticed just from us talking is that, working in tech runs in your family as well. Because your father, he helped pioneer some of the technology we use today, right?
Yeah. So my dad is somewhat of a hidden figure, like the movie Hidden Figures, where the lady were helping out with NASA. Well, my dad actually worked on the barcode technology. This is the first time this is actually being shared publicly. He worked on the barcode technology in the late 60s, right? And like people at my job and stuff know, but he worked on that with other developers, and they got recognition of it, right? The scientists and developers, and he did it, and we know why. Man, so ridiculous. He's got documentation where the memo, I think it was, that went out telling who worked on the project, right, with his name not on there, and then he got the memo to the team saying thank you for all your work, of course, with his name on there. Yeah. So he worked on that. He worked on other projects as well. So when I was a kid in the 80s, he's the one that got me on it. It was kind of like, this is something I'm doing. I like it. I want my son to do it because I know this is the future. Now, mind you, he wasn't really making no money. He was actually doing a paper route, leaving the house at 1 a.m. doing paper routes while he was working in tech, because that's how much suppressed he was. But my dad, as far as the projects and stuff that he's been involved in, a lot of them have changed the entire world. Man. And so that's how I got into it.
That is wild. Man, it's so crazy to think, because I almost wonder, because of course one of the things, like when people see me online talking about tech, they're like, oh man, like it's so unique to see, a black man talking about this. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, I know being in the industry, it's like, no, I'm not the only one. Now I understand, okay, I'm the person for my community. Yeah. But it's like, no, there are a lot of us. But I almost wonder if I'm like, man.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ12. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ12 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
If there weren't so many hidden figures like your father, and like I'm sure many others in this industry, maybe more of people who look like us and just more people in general would just have been aware of this industry and aware of the opportunity that's here, and aware of just, hey, like, oh, okay, I see someone like me who's in the industry. Yeah. Or I see someone like me who's being listed as being a part of some project or creating something. And so I wonder how that suppression has also suppressed just other people stepping into this industry.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're forced to feel like the only way you can make money is to be a ball player or some type of entertainment or a doctor or a lawyer. Yeah. But I like to say tech is right there with it. Yes. Because a lot of us make money, more money than doctors, more money than lawyers. Mm-hmm. Sometimes entertainment type money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really out there, and you can get there quick.
I have NBA players that their NBA and NFL players that their contracts are coming up, and they don't think they're going to get picked up. And they're DMing me. Even last night, someone DM'd me last night, and he plays overseas, or he just stopped playing overseas, and he messaged me like, "Hey, bro, I'm coming back to the States, and I'm looking at this. Can you help me out?" And I'm like, and I told him in a voice, and I said, "Bro, this will be a perfect transition for you." I was like, because like money wise, no matter how much you were making before, especially if he was playing overseas, it's like this won't be a huge drop for you, and you'll be able to scale back, or maybe even more from the money that you were making before.
Facts, because now you also have some notoriety as well. Because you played sports and all those types of things. So now you are a voice that people would actually listen to. People like, man, he used to play in the NBA or he used to play overseas. Yeah. Now he in tech. And he didn't know nothing. He might not even have graduated from college. But now he's like super successful in tech. And so that's going to bring more people. Folks like you, man, like I like to say, because when I first came across you, My wife actually showed me one of your videos or whatever, and she was like, he's been in tech and he's a young guy, and I was like, man, that's so cool. And one of the things, even like, I want to give you your flowers and be like, look, like you're carrying the torch that my dad started with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So seeing you be able to do that, I'm like, man, like this is the unintended exposure, because God has his way of working things out.
Yeah.
That even still, so many people like us are now getting into tech just by some of the things that my dad and others have done.
Yeah.
Right. And this is stuff that just warms my heart. And if you're questioning even getting into this, listen, it's hard work. Like it's not no quick, you know what I'm saying? A lot of folks don't understand. Like they be like, oh yeah, I want to make 6 figures. Bruh, listen, just to get to 6 figures, it's going to take some work.
Yeah.
But understand, when you apply yourself, you can get to 100, 200, 300K, you just got to be able to apply yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And definitely shouts out to all the pioneers like your father. Cause I know a lot of people see me and they see the what I'm doing, and I'm like, well, yeah, they're always trailblazers. Like there's trailblazers behind the trailblazers behind the trailblazers. They basically set up these opportunities that we have today. So yeah, definitely grateful for people like your father and others. That, I mean, the beauty of it is that, and it's sad again going back to the hidden figures aspect, where it's like, yo, that's trash. But it's like, for people like your father to be willing to kind of take something like that on the chin, even though they shouldn't necessarily have to, at least being a part of the work showed people in the industry that knew the truth to be like, man, like, yo, we should be open to working with other people because they bring a lot of value. Yeah. And just really just them taking that kind of, again, that hit on the chin, it just slowly started opening the door more and more. So I know as many people see me and they're like, oh, Cyrus, like you're doing this, you're doing that. It's like, man, there are people that came before me and people came before that they put in work and they dealt with things that, it's easy for me to jump online and just tell people, yo, you can get it, make money. Yeah. But it's like, what's hard is being a hidden figure and other things like that. So, shouts out to all the trailblazers. Yeah. Those of y'all that are watching, listening, and you're like, yo, I'm a trailblazer. I've been in the industry for a long time. Shouts out to you. Thank you for the work you put in as well. Love it. I love it. All right, super cool. So 2023 is going to be considered the year of the AI boom. Yeah. Please explain ChatGPT, Bard, and both the threats and opportunities that AI poses today.
So to give everybody a quick synopsis, ChatGPT and Bard, they are generative pre-trained transformers. It's a tongue tie. But what they are is they're basically chatbots. You go to a website and, you have a little bubble that pops up to say, how can we help you today, right? Yeah. And so you might type some stuff in there and it might not understand what you're saying, but you might type something in relation to the actual company and it'll understand. Well, that's artificial intelligence, right? That's a part of what ChatGPT and Bard is. However, those chatbots, they actually have a small data set based off of that company.
Yeah, just based off the company's information.
ChatGPT and Bard, the data set is the internet. Yeah. Like the entire internet. So anything that I type in there, whether it's a different language, it's going to translate it. And it's not just going to translate like, I can go to Mexico, right? And be like, yeah, I took some Spanish classes. But they're going to be like, bro, you ain't even from here, right? Because that I'm teaching, reading it or saying it verbatim by the book. Yeah. ChatGPT understands intent. It understands natural language. So I could literally learn in that aspect and actually be more considered someone who knew the actual language because of that. That's how deep and intricate it is. So when we talk about the AI boom, ChatGPT and Bard, these things are going, number one, they're around to stay. They're only going to get better. We need not be afraid. It's easy to be afraid. Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously, who hasn't watched Terminator, right? So it's easy to be afraid, but you got to use it to embrace and to make you better. Yeah. Think about you would go to college for something and learn something in 4 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. You can sit in front of ChatGPT and learn everything that you would learn in a specific subject within a matter of a couple of weeks or months, just by sitting there and asking it to elaborate things. Now, it's not 100% correct, but at least sets you in the right direction. Yeah. And so it's amazing. It gets us out of the mindset, like for 20 plus years, or probably close to 30 years now, we had the search engine where it was like, show me the capital of France, right? And then all these different things will come up in Google. Well, what ChatGPT and what Bard does, it actually makes it NLP, it's natural language processing. So it's more conversational now. They call it conversational AI. So I can not have everything spelled correctly. I can, have improper grammar, and it's going to understand all of that.
The whole intent thing you're saying. It's like, I understand the intention that you meant with this.
Yeah. And of course, you can tweak it and make it better. You can give it specific prompts, like prompt engineering. It's like what everybody's learning, like how can I make this really benefit for me? Yeah, I'm not trying to find out what the capital of France is for. Like, I'm really trying to figure out how to do my job. So whether it's coding, whether it's creating marketing materials, just creating content in general, all of those different things you can use with ChatGPT. It's here to stay, but there's some pitfalls, there's some issues. One of the things is I work with Microsoft, and one of the things that we've been doing for years before anybody even heard about ChatGPT was responsible AI. There's unconscious bias in AI. Amazon ran into it years ago while they had an algorithm to, I guess it might have been asking certain questions, but basically based off of the algorithm, they ended up only interviewing white males.
Man,
because
of
of
that.
But it was inadvertent. Also, you have I think Apple ran into something where even with the facial recognition, the scanning for our phones, like if you were a specific shade, it could not register the texture of your skin.
Wow.
This is unconscious bias. So one of the things Microsoft got ahead of, I think probably like the last 7 or 8 years, is making sure that in our utilization of and programming of AI, that we get rid of that unconscious bias, which we have to continue to work at that.
Yeah, I believe that they're a lot better at that, because I remember a few years ago, because I heard something similar about that unconscious bias, where it was some years ago that Microsoft had gotten caught up in, and a few other companies did as well, where they realized that whatever team of developers that they had create something, whatever the general like ethnicity and gender of that team, it ended up having a slight bias or proclivity in a positive way towards people that seem like that. A friend of mine was talking about how and they had tested out with different groups. They'd even tested out with a team in Africa. I forget which country in Africa it was, but it was a team in Africa of engineers where they created something, and they had a bit of the software had a preference towards people that were Black or African.
Exactly.
And so it just really kind of came to terms where it's like, you really have to have a diverse team of people working on something. You can't just have like a whole team of this or a whole team of that. It's like, no, you really need diversity. You need other people, other brains coming in on things. So I think that's really interesting to see that, and now seeing how that's playing out. It's dope to hear that I guess Microsoft learned from that lesson before, and they're like, okay, let's make sure we do it the proper way now when it comes to what we're doing with AI.
Yeah.
All right, so look, a personal belief that I believe in the next 30 to 40 years, the majority of jobs will be replaced by AI, robotics, or some other form of technology that maybe hasn't even been created yet or thought of yet. I would love to know why you agree or disagree.
I agree, but here's what it is. Everything is going to change. Okay. When I was growing up, the trash folks used to come, right? It used to be 2 men on the back of a truck, jump off the truck, they throw the trash can in, right? Yeah. Well, now most companies have the trash truck that has the arm that comes down, grabs your trash can and throws it in the back, right? But it did not get rid of the fact that you still need to have folks working, at the trash companies, right? Yeah. And so things will change. Maybe you're not going to be the cashier, but you can be the one behind the cashier or the one in the back. There's always going to be some change in something. It's not, because a lot of people think, well, it's going to take all our jobs. No, it might take that job, but you're going to do something different.
Yes.
That's just what it is. And that's even like with this AI thing, like, oh yeah, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's going to take my job as an assistant. Well, why don't you use it? Like, learn how to use it and be a better assistant. So now if you do leave, somebody be like, oh yeah, I can do all this stuff. They realize, oh, wait a minute. They was doing a whole lot with this thing that I didn't even realize, and maybe they'll call you back, or maybe be like, "Nah, forget you. I'm working with 10 other folk." You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But that's what we need to do. We need to embrace technology and understand that nothing is going to stay the same.
Yeah, no.
Everything changes all the time, And so I definitely agree with you. A lot of these positions that we have years ago, network engineers were like really big because, you know, they were in the data centers and the server rooms and all those types of things, right? Well, now we got the cloud. So they didn't go nowhere. They just learned cloud technology. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just what happens. We just learn and we evolve and we grow.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's kind of like the Willy Wonka, or no, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think that was the second one, the one that had Johnny Depp in it.
Yeah.
Where when in the movie the grandfather ended up losing his job to a robot, but then at the end of the movie, you know how at the end of the movie they always gotta like tie everything over a nice bow. At the end of the movie, they say, "Oh, and the grandfather now has a better job where he actually fixes the robot that replaced his job."
Exactly.
And I truly believe that when I first started talking about tech on my page, it was for two reasons. One, it was because I was like, hey, y'all can make a bunch of money. But the other thing is that the more I became intrigued with the industry, and this is before I even knew the AI boom was going to happen, I was telling people, look, y'all, everything is becoming technology. So you should consider getting in this industry or learning something. So that way, if you do get replaced by technology, you can actually get a better job being the person overseeing that technology. And it's like, that's the thing that I think many people are missing. So I love that you touched on that, where it's like, yeah, AI, robotics, this technology, it's definitely about to change things, but it also presents an opportunity for you to be able to step into something significantly better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's kind of like the, I guess, kind of like the gospel in a way, where it's like, yo, I got some bad news. It's like, this is the bad news, but the good news is X, Y, and Z. If you take advantage of this information that you're being given right now before it's too late.
Right, exactly.
And so I think we're kind of on that cusp where everybody can kind of see everything happening. Yeah. And it's like, you almost don't have an excuse.
You don't. You don't.
Yeah.
You got kids now, like my son is 3, and he like swipes through his tablet and like knows how to get into games, and like he's playing Galaga. Like Galaga was like when I was like 12 or 13, like that was like the thing. Yeah. Dude is like he's 3 and he's advancing all kinds of levels in Galaga, and I'm sitting here like 3?
I couldn't beat that level.
Like, I couldn't even. And I sat and I watched him, and I'm sitting here like, but that's how amazing the human mind is too. Like we limit ourselves thinking that we're just supposed to be doing this here right now.
Yeah.
5 years from now, there's going to be some new job, some new person, some new thing that you actually might be really good at. But if you limit yourself and think that, oh, I'm only going to be doing this and this ain't going to get no better, that's not going to work. You got to embrace the technology. You got to get ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Man, it's a huge opportunity.
Yeah. For sure.
All right, so how can people who aren't working in tech use AI to grow their business or perform better at their job?
Okay, so there's several things that you can do. Like I'm a proponent of ChatGPT, Microsoft product, obviously. But things that you could do is, number one, you could research like what you're doing, right? And see how you can make it better. Like say, for instance, if you are in marketing, right? Maybe you want to figure out how to make a good marketing proposal or something like that. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a template of that. Even if you're need a resume, right? Some people say, man, I don't know how to write a resume. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a template on a resume based off of a job description. You can have it write scripts for videos. There's so many different things that whatever you need help in, because remember the data set is the internet now. Whatever you need help in, if it's found on the internet, it can go out and find it. Up to 2021, it can go out and find it and help you. So what you have to do, as I mentioned it before, is learn how to engineer the prompts to get what you need. That takes time. That takes time to figure out, okay, I need to figure out, if it's some type of script or some type of template, I need to figure out how I can get beyond the bare minimum of it. I could say, write a blog on tech, right? And it'll spit out something crazy, but I could probably say, write a blog on tech in cloud industry, and over the last 5 years, how things have advanced. Give me an outline, and it can do that. And then you can go and you can actually write the blog for it, because I don't think anybody should actually trust that component to actually do the writing, because then who really owns it? Yeah. And so that's the thing about a whole lot of copywriting now, because copyright law says that you have had no other thing or person help you write it. So you have to be cautious about that type of things. But as far as getting it, having ideas, those type of things, yeah, definitely you use it to your advantage.
I'm go ahead and admit this. Not that this is a secret or anything, but we actually, so for those of y'all that are watching and listening, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up that the title of this video, whether it's a clip or you're watching the full video, the title of this video is more than likely created by AI. Something that we just started doing because we were like, hey, let's start using a lot of these platforms. Let's test these things out. One, to help us be more efficient, but two, so we can really have more of a hands-on. We're not just talking about things on a high level. We can really give insight. And so we played around with a few different platforms. So even like when it comes to the title and the description, we use one platform. We use one platform we just started using called Otter AI.
Yep, heard of that.
And they do a few different things, but we actually just upload our videos onto it and transcribe the entire conversation. We take the transcription and we put it in ChatGPT and we say, hey, ChatGPT, create a YouTube title.
That's dope.
That perfectly describes and summarizes this entire transcription. And then after it does that, we'll say, also give us a perfect description for this video. And it does that. And of course, it does it in seconds. For those of y'all who haven't tested it out, it does it in seconds. So it's like, and we can do that for every single clip. So we'll take all the clips and say, hey, give me the same thing, title, description, whatever. And so we've been testing those things out. And then depending on how we feel about it, we'll take the title and we'll put it in vidIQ, which is... You could argue if it's AI. Yeah, I guess technically it is. And from the component that vidIQ takes from YouTube's database, and then they kind of like determine what are the best titles for a YouTube video. So it does the same kind of chatbot thing. And we take the title that ChatGPT gives us, we put it in vidIQ because we know that they are a bit more specific to YouTube ranking. And then vidIQ says, hey, here are 5 different titles you can use. So again, for those of y'all looking at the title, description, let us know in the comments if you agree with the title description or you feel like it's not a good fit. Because we've had people a couple times recently say like, oh, this title doesn't describe the video. So we're like, that's interesting to look at. Like you mentioned, it isn't 100% accurate. This technology is still in its infancy. It's still a baby. It has a lot of growing to do. So, man, super good stuff. Obviously, y'all can tell I'm hyped. Y'all can tell I'm into this. So I love it. Man, would love, we have a little bit left. Would love for you to share anything that's on your heart that you feel like you haven't been able to express on here, or something that you just kind of thought about touching on.
Well, I think just going back to learn to embrace technology, right? Especially in all people. I just know that being in the Black community, I found that, being around a lot of my peers, people just don't understand. And we need to learn how to open up and explore, and it's okay. It will make us better. Though that's just one of the things, like I speak all around the country, and that's one of the things that I always encourage people to do. Just go and embrace, be inquisitive. I don't care how old you are. Like, just be inquisitive, find out. You can create something and you could possibly change the world. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, how many people am I talking to right now who I've talked to in the past that have gone in and done some amazing things? And I'm happy about that, right? Because I was able to say, hey, listen, just take the time to embrace the technology. And that's one of the things that everywhere I go, everywhere I speak, I always tell people, take the time to embrace it, because it really can change your life.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ12. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ12 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.